So, today, we're diving into something you've probably seen all over your social media feeds. Religious content. It's a huge, booming world online. Millions of people are finding and exploring their faith through these posts, but behind the scenes, there's a really intense struggle going on. A fight between a creator's spiritual mission and, well, the brutal demands of the internet.
And it all really boils down to this one simple question. What's the actual price of a viral prayer? When spirituality has to fight for likes and shares, what gets left behind?
To really get what's going on, we have to understand this new landscape. Welcome to the era of the digital pulpit. This is where faith is literally moving from the physical church or mosque right into the palm of your hand.
In the Islamic world, there's a specific term for this: digital dawah. All it really means is sharing the teachings of Islam, a tradition that's centuries old. But now it's happening on TikTok, on YouTube, on podcasts, you name it.
And you can't overstate what a massive change this is. These digital platforms have basically thrown the old rules out the window. Suddenly, you don't need years of formal training to have a voice. An individual can build a following of millions, totally bypassing the traditional gatekeepers like mosques and scholars.
So you have to wonder, right? Why do people even start doing this? Is it a career move? Do they see a business opportunity? Well, as it turns out, the real reasons are usually a lot deeper and way more personal.
And this chart is pretty telling. Look at this. Out of 25 creators they studied, 22 of them said their main reason was a personal spiritual calling. For them, this wasn't a job application. It was a mission. And right behind that was wanting to help their community and fight back against all the crazy misinformation about their faith that they see online.
This quote from one of the creators just hits the nail on the head. They saw this huge gap opening up between the old institutions and this younger generation that lives and breathes online, and they just felt this responsibility to jump in and try to fix it.
Okay, so this is where it all gets really complicated, because as soon as these creators start, they run headfirst into this powerful, invisible force that basically controls everything, the algorithm. And that sets up this constant grinding battle between their authentic message and what the platform actually wants to promote.
Let's just break this down. On one side, you have authenticity. That means deep theology, nuance, scholarly standards, all the complicated stuff. But on the other side, you have the algorithm. And what does it love? High emotion, super simple ideas, and, of course, controversy. So the very things that make a religious teaching deep and meaningful are often the exact opposite of what makes content go viral.
And this creator just lays out the dilemma perfectly. How in the world are you supposed to explain a complex religious ruling, something scholars have debated for centuries, in a 60-second video? You're stuck walking this ethical tightrope every single day, trying to simplify things just enough without actually being wrong.
This quote really highlights the temptation. These creators know for a fact that if they post about something controversial, something that gets people riled up, it'll get 10 times the views. But chasing that virality means moving away from the content they feel is actually beneficial. They have to wake up every day and consciously choose not to chase the easy clicks.
So you can imagine, this constant battle really starts to take a toll. It creates all these huge challenges and ethical problems that, for many, come to define their entire experience. This is the real cost of having that online influence.
And the criticism they face is just relentless. It comes from absolutely everywhere. Traditionalists say they aren't qualified. Progressives say they're too conservative. People from other sects attack their interpretations. It's a completely impossible situation where you just can't win.
And the numbers from the study? They're pretty brutal. Get this. Almost every single creator they talked to, 23 out of 25, said criticism and backlash was a major problem. On top of that, 18 of them were struggling with how to make money without feeling like they were selling out their faith. And more than half said it was having a serious negative impact on their mental health.
This quote really gets to the human cost of it all. These are just people, you know? They're on their own spiritual journey, but suddenly they're put on this public stage where everyone expects them to be a perfect role model. It's an impossible standard to live up to.
So with all these insane challenges, what's the actual result here? Is this whole online movement really changing how people see and practice their faith?
Well, there's definitely a lot of good happening. The creators themselves see it. Their work is helping people learn the basics, like how to pray. They're building these amazing online communities for people who might feel isolated, like converts or LGBTQ+ Muslims, and they see it making a real difference, encouraging things like charity and daily prayer.
But, and this is a really big but, this fear comes from the creators themselves. They're worried that while they're teaching people all the facts about Islam, they might be failing to build a real deep spiritual connection to it. It's kind of like knowing all the ingredients to a recipe, but never actually tasting the dish.
And that right there is the big takeaway. The general feeling among these creators is that, yeah, online content is an amazing tool, but it can't be everything. It should be the starting point, a supplement that encourages people to go find deeper learning in a real-life community, not a replacement for them.
So we end up right back where we started, with a pretty massive question. This digital pulpit isn't going anywhere, but that tension between being authentic and feeding the algorithm is only getting more intense. And as everyone, creators, platforms, and us, the audience, keeps shaping this new world, you have to ask, who or what is actually going to decide what faith looks like for the next generation?